Thank you for staying with us here on Politics Today on Channels Television. We're reaching you live from Lokoja, the capital of Kogi State. And of course, we're talking to you about the sad passing away of Prince Abubakar Audu, the candidate of the All Progressives Congress in the Kogi State governorship election. The sad news came to us, shocking for most people who saw him in the campaigns, who saw him cast his ballot in the election on Saturday, and unfortunately, he's no more. I have joining me Mr. Zik Ibrahim, is the chairman of the Transition Monitoring Group here monitoring the election in Kogi State. Thank you so much for talking to us on Channel Television. Let me start by asking you what you make of this situation. Sad news, isn't it? The passing of Prince Abubakar.
Yeah, it is indeed sad. Not just for the people of Kogi, but for Nigeria, because it's a sad development for that will be put into Kogi months. So our heart goes to the family of Prince Abubakar Audu and the good people of Kogi State.
All right, your group has been talking about this election, this exercise. You've been measuring the participation of voters. You've been measuring what INEC has been doing. Tell me what you've been able to do.
Well, I think Kogi State gubernatorial election is one of a very good election that we have witnessed so far. It has further reinforced that our democracy is really fast developing. It is compared to what has been happening in the past. I think the conduct of the election, when you talk about the election management body, INEC, the police, that is the security at last, not just, and then of course the voters themselves. I think we are moving forward in terms of sustainability of
preliminary about the process on Saturday, on the election day. Tell me what you've been able to find out at the end of the exercise.
Well, the end of the exercise shows that it was a good conduct. But what has declared quite okay. We were able to verify the results. And like I told you earlier on, the Transition Monitoring Group rely much on layers of collations which on the that declare at the polling units, because at the level of the polling unit the result is still so they to and wait for INEC to move from one layer to another, and when they declare we now compare. So within the margin of error that we set, if the results declared by INEC fall within, then we could verify to say yes. But in the moment we saw discrepancies, then we exposed the error. But in this case, I think INEC has done a very good job.
They've declared, just as we round up now, they've declared the election inconclusive.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here? From your experience with electoral process, where do we go from where? What naturally happens?
Well, like the last speaker they said, there was discrepancies between the number of votes that the winner at this moment, because inclusive or not, what the Nigeria public has known who is leading. So the number of votes is lesser than the council votes, and therefore INEC feel that we need to have a rerun in some of those areas. But I think it's left for people of Kogi to decide at the end of the day. But one thing that is very clear, our quick count, we are our precision is always very right, is that the 49,000 vote that is going to be contested, don't forget in this election you have a low turnout. You can't be sure that 100% cast their ballot, and you won't be sure that they will all come out and vote one person, not here nor there. Right. It will even narrow down further the loss of the other one, or slim down the winning margin of the leading candidate. So
it could go either way.
Right. So for us, I think the election in Kogi is a done deal. Right. The only other aspect of it is the death of the APC candidate, that is Prince Abubakar Audu, that is led for legal luminaries and all the rest to analyze.
I must thank you, Zik Ibrahim,
it's my pleasure.
Chairman, TMG, Transition Monitoring Group,
thank you
for your efforts and talking
to
us
so much. Thank you
on Channel Television. Well, that's it from us here from Lokaja Underground. Well, Charles, you guys, I guess you are having a good time in the studio. Well, unfortunately, the death of it in the studio in Lagos.
Well then, not a very good time indeed, because we feel exactly what you are feeling there. But then I will now take it from where Mr. Zik Ibrahim left off about the legal luminaries talking about the issues, about exactly the issues of a candidate not being available for the APC. So at this point we are being joined by Chief Olisa Agbakoba, a senior advocate of Nigeria. Chief Agbakoba, what's the position of the law when an election has been declared inconclusive, a supplementary poll ordered, and then the candidate of the leading party in the poll no longer available all of a sudden?
The election is voided. It has to restart. You need a candidate with a party to complete a legal ticket. So in my view, which I agree would be very controversial and subject to difference of opinion amongst lawyers, but my own personal view, which is not only about a legal view, but just a commonsensical view. If a candidate is not available by reason of death, then there can be no election. That's my view. So let's see how it plays out. But I think this is sui generis. You know what? It hasn't happened before. I'm aware that the Supreme Court has said in Amechi case that the party is projected, but at least Amechi was alive. I'm also aware that the Atiku Boni Haruna case, when Atiku became vice president, Boni Haruna filled the ticket, but at least Boni Haruna was alive, Atiku was alive. So this is the first time we have a candidate actually dying before the process is complete. In my view, the death of the candidate invalidates the election, and the election must start afresh.
All right, thank you very much, Chief Agbakoba. That is clear enough in his own perspective as a senior advocate of Nigeria. It means the process has to start all over again. It may not have happened before, but then indeed we have it on our hands now, and something logical has to be done. Well, at this moment, I'd like to return to Mr. Dafe Akpedeye, who is standing in Abuja. Well, Mr. Akpedeye, right now, if you were the legal practitioner for the All Progressives Congress, what would be your advice to them?
All due respect, I do, brothers. To whose advantage will you be opening the elections all over again? Somebody will be disadvantaged by it. As unfortunate as the incident of our Audu's death, which is most unfortunate, very sorry that it's happened, the reality on ground is that the law did not anticipate a situation like this. Like you said, it might be sui generis, but the law did provide what it wanted to provide to at the time. And in the absence of the law, you must interpret it as it is. I don't think it's a common sense approach, because the common sense approach will create its own share of difficulties, and it just puts us in a complete cycle that will do nobody any good. So in my view, the law has provided what it has to provide. It's something to look into going forward on how to reinvent the law to take care of situations like this that were never anticipated. But like you know, no law takes care of every situation, and this is indicative of what has happened in this situation. The law anticipates a situation where you can substitute before the commencement of polls. And so when you attempt to do this substitution now, the question I ask you, they've declared certain local governments. Where does the substituted candidate come from? Does this do the remaining elections? It's an absurdity. And to say that you begin again, obviously that would be unfair on the party who had contracted on the other side. And truly for me, unfortunate situation is, I dare say that it will be a difficult one for the APC for them to cross.
All right,
and
thank you very much.
As a council, it will be a very difficult fight. But lawyers must talk, lawyers must try. They will attempt at it, and they will expect the court to give a ruling in it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akpede, for that legal perspective. Well, so many different perspectives on this matter. But then, as far as the Kogi State governorship elections are concerned, plus the tragedies and the declaration of a supplementary poll, this is where we will be ending it today on Politics Today on Channels Television. Special thanks to my colleagues who have been on the ground in Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, Sheon Okimbaloye and Lanre Lasisi, and our guests on the show today. Thanks so much. I'm Charles Eruka. Same time next week, join us again for another edition of the show. Good night.